Welcome one and all to Scotch and Smoke Rings. Oh, that sounds really weird. Episode 541. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here as always with suspenders set to maximum stun. I've got some new headphones today. My old ones were great. I loved them. Here they are. But as you can see, the earpieces were starting to wear away. And look at that. You can see the foam peeling off. And sadly, I didn't realize at the time when I bought these, but you couldn't replace the parts, which was really frustrating to me. I like a pair of headphones that you can disassemble and you can replace things. Look, even the top of the head right there, starting to peel off a little bit and wear away. So yeah, this was very disappointing to me because I love the way these sound and they were really comfortable. But with it starting to wear away, I just had to get a new set. So I did some some digging around, read a lot of reviews, and these were the ones I settled on. And it's weird. I don't know why, but when I switch from a pair of headphones, it's kind of like getting adjusted to a brand new office. Everything is a little different. Or it's kind of like working from a stranger's computer. You know how it may be a PC, it may be Windows 10, it may be the very same internet, but if it's not your computer, it kind of feels a little alien. That's how I'm feeling right now with these weird things on my head. I'm sure they're perfectly fine, but they feel so weird to me. And the sound is different. That's what's really weird. It almost feels a little more hollow. But they're hardbacks, just like the other ones. They're 250 ohm though. That's really the only major difference. I don't know how many ohms these were. 90 ohms? It's just weird. I'm trying to get used to it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good to have you on the program today. Got a great show for you. We're going to be playing some Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea. We're on day 5 of this particular DLC. Now, there are 2 parts to Burial at Sea. Part 1, which we completed in 2 broadcasts. We're on part 2, and we're on broadcast 3 of part 2 of Burial at Sea, which I didn't think would happen. I thought, well, surely they split Burial at Sea into 2 equal parts, but no, either that or I was just really bad at the second part. It is stealth, so. But so we're on day 3 of part 2 of Burial at Sea, and I don't know how much more we have ahead of me, so I have a backup game. If for some reason we walk through the next door and there's the boss and that's the end of the game, well, but I have something else that we can tinker with after Burial at Sea. But otherwise, we'll just play Burial at Sea until we're done. Leighton Peterson says, "Hey, Oxhorn, the headphones look comfortable." I'm sure they are. I'm still just really getting used to them. It's first of all weird enough that I have to put these over a hat. Right? When I work, normally I don't wear the hat. It's not something I take to bed with me, for example. Wake up in the morning, morning, honey. No, that's not part of my day. I use the hat just for the show. And so I have to kind of stretch it out to have it fit over the hat, which is weird. It's like a second layer of weirdness. I'm trying to get over the first layer of weirdness, which is the newness of this. And then I am suddenly presented with a second layer of weirdness, which is a new feeling over my hat. Lucky Babcack says, "Hey, Oxhorn, I can't say, but wishing you and everyone a fun tonight." Thank you, Lucky Babcack, for coming on by. Thank you very much for the tip. And we will have a great time tonight. I can promise you that. Wrong List 154 with a tip. Thank you very much, Wrong List. I do appreciate it. We've got all of the members in the chat today. So good to see each and every one of you. Don Coynton, Ash Malachi, Josh Bunton, who says, "Hey, no chat issues to start." Well, yeah, this is my job. I'm like a professional here. What do you mean, chat issues? We run a tight ship here on the Oxhorn YouTube channel, my friend. A tight ship. Little Miss Cindy, Rachel, Jesse Spain, Vladimir, and I think that's it. That's everybody. Good to see everybody on the program today. Irvin Chadwick says, "Wink, wink, wink, wink. Say no more, wink, wink." No Name says, "Happy New Year, everyone." And Red Runner 328 says, "Ox, I passed 100 subs. I'm at 120. Be proud of me, Pa." I'm feeling much better, by the way. I don't know if you could tell. Oh, I'm proud of you, Red Runner. The first 100 subs on YouTube. My goodness, that's a milestone right there. Really thrilled for you, my friend. Congratulations. And as No Name said, Happy New Year to absolutely everyone. Can you believe it's 2020? What? I don't understand. The numbers keep flying. We're in the roaring 20s now, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you all thought that I was going back in time with the Derby. No, I'm bringing the Derby back into the future. In 5 years, quote me on this, people will be running around in Derbies. Well, actually, the Derby was a bit before the 20s, wasn't it? It was like the 1890s. It was like Laurel and Hardy. What was Laurel and Hardy? That was the 20s. It was Roaring 20s. It was a bit before the war. No, it was around the Roaring 20s. They rocked a good derby. But theirs were black. They had the black derbies. Now I'm bringing the 20s to the 20s, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm doing here on Scotch and Smoke Rings. I'm behind the times, and yet I'm ahead of the times at the same time. Don't think about it. Don't meditate on it. It's just the reality. Nicholas Patterson says, hello. Hello, Nicholas Patterson. Good to see you. Chininator says, Oxets, sound off. And that's right, we have the Oxets in the chat today. I love the fact that I now have the Oxets as part of like my daily streaming reality now. Christian says, Gurkhas and a bottle of Glenfiddich. Great taste. Love Gurkha, but haven't tried one of those that your wife got you. How do you like them? Cheers. They're great. I mean, I would be lying if I said that I had a good enough palate to be able to appreciate the distinction between cigars. I don't. It's tobacco. It's on fire. Tastes like ash. Sometimes I get a nice nutty consistency. But, it's... why do I smoke cigars if I really can't taste them? It's one of those things where I'll be sitting there working or doing a live stream, and I've got, hours of editing ahead of me, and I just need something to fiddle with. Really. Does that make sense? I just need something to fiddle with. Something to put in my mouth and to blow on. And okay, this is starting to sound really horrible. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean to get graphic here on Scotch and Smoke Rings. I'm going to have to punish myself later. Holy cow, that's even getting worse. Didn't mean to get that graphic on the program. But what I do need to do is open the window if I'm going to set something on fire and smoke in this office, which I forgot to do before the show. So here we go. Grab that. All right. I'm calmed down now. Things are calm and good. Promise to behave. Okay. Cave Charm says, hey, Oxhorn, hope you have a great 2020. Hope you do as well. Thanks for coming to the program. Luke says, of all the games to publish lore on, why did you pick Fallout? It was one of those things where I fell in love with Fallout not because of the lore. I mean, I liked the lore. Don't get me wrong. But I fell in love with Fallout because I liked the feel of it, right? Especially with Fallout 3. The setting of Fallout 3 is what drew me into the world of Fallout, and then the story of Fallout 4 is what drew me into the lore of Fallout. But the settlement building, the feel of the wasteland, being able to upgrade your weapons, and then the radio, just the feel of it is what I fell in love with. And as I continued to play, especially when I was going through my second and third playthrough, all of these characters were making references, and I'm starting to pick up the strings of the major underlying plots of the game, and they're making allusions to games I hadn't played before, like Tactics and New Vegas, and I really became curious, thinking, what is this world? What are they talking about? And it was only upon trying to look into the story of the Fallout universe as a whole that I just fell in love with it, and I didn't want anyone else to have to sit there and go, I wonder, like I did. So I figured I'd piece it all together in little lore videos. And the rest is history. Lieutenant Shadowhunter says, stop blowing my mind. I'll do my best to keep from doing that. I get in trouble every time that happens. Josh Bunton says, Zox, before we know prohibition will resume. Oh, God, no. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be perfectly honest, but don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Matt Dumbrique says, I'm surprised JFK was never mentioned in Fallout 4. What's really interesting is how JFK is portrayed in the Prey series. If you want to find JFK mentioned in an alternative sci-fi / universe, Prey, the latest Bethesda Prey. I don't know if I can recommend the game because I live streamed it here on the program, and there were moments that were just great and moments that I was just like, I don't know. Prey, I don't know how I liked Prey. Like the DLC for Prey, I didn't get through it. I tried to stream it on the program, and I think I got a couple hours into it, and I turned to the camera and just said, guys, I don't want to do this. Can we do something else? Can we play a different game? But I did get through the full story of Prey, and JFK in the alternative universe that is the universe of Prey is really interesting. But yeah, I agree. It is. I'd be interested to find out what happened to JFK in the Fallout universe. Also interesting that of the pre-war presidents in the Fallout universe, really the only one that's mentioned is Nixon. And he is apparently beloved by the American people in the year 2077 for them to have created a Mr. Nixon doll that they give to children, as we learned from the events of Fallout 2. So, yeah, a lot of really interesting things with the presidents. Like the presidents they revere are the presidents we revere. The founding fathers. You go to into Fallout 3 and it's all about the founding fathers. But JFK? Yeah. Rachel says, what's the lore of the Oxhorn Derby? I don't know. Back when I was doing Warcraft stuff years ago, I said that the Derby was part of my set bonus, which if you played World of Warcraft, you realize that that you could get more from your magic if you had everything that was part of the set. It's kind of like painting every piece of power armor. You only get the +2 to intelligence bonus or +2 to strength if every piece is painted. Well, the Derby was part of my set bonus. The only way that Oxhorn could truly channel all of his powers was to have all pieces to the set, including the Derby and the beard and the Scotch and the cigars. Those powers combined. Now I'm channeling Captain Planet. All right, I got to stop. Sam says, Papa Oxhorn looking thick. THCC with an I in there somewhere. Thank you. That's exactly what I hoped to be. Lieutenant Shadowhunter says, I love graphic. Graphic? Oh, no. Well, I'm trying to rein it back. Every now and then, the chat will push me into graphic territory, but I just got to rein myself back. I'm getting better. Red Runner says, Oxhorn, I got my cigar in my bottle. Let's get this party started, brother. You're right. I mean, it's already, 16 minutes into the program, and I haven't set anything on fire. I think that is just absolutely dastardly. We have to do something about that. Here we go. Out of fuel. And I think I might be legit out of fuel. No, I got a little left. All right, we'll set this aside for later just in case. It sounds so weird. It's so weird. Like I'm used to hearing my own voice, but hearing my voice through this? Strange. Lieutenant Shadowhunter says, I need another Fallout. Good Fallout, not 76. Well, I'm sad that you can't enjoy 76, though I do understand why. I personally enjoy 76, so I'm looking forward to Wastelanders, which should be coming out this year. I can say this year now, which is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to Wastelanders. If you want some more Fallout, I would look forward to Wastelanders as well. Lots of wonderful changes coming. Otherwise, for a single-player experience, we're probably going to have to wait until... What? 2025? The 2030s? Maybe? No Name says, I kind of miss the Sisty Pigs. Well, that would, you're alone as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm glad we met the Sisty Pigs. I have been exposed to that particular delicacy, and I'm wiser for it. Don't think I need to think about it too much more often. Parker Smith says, hey, Oxhorn, can't wait for your next Red Dead Redemption 2 stream, which is going to be tomorrow, by the way. And I fixed a lot of the stuff with my Red Dead Redemption 2 installation here on my PC. I'll talk more about it tomorrow when I get into the stream. But yeah, that's it's on schedule for tomorrow here on YouTube, not on Twitch. I just beat the game, he continues, myself, and almost 100% I adore the game. Oh, a heads up, the epilogue is around 4 hours long. Go for Max Honor for the good ending. The epilogue is around 4 hours long? What do you mean? Like the end? So there's an ending to the game, which I'm presuming is what, like a 5-minute cutscene or something. Then an epilogue? There's an epilogue, a 4-hour long epilogue to Red Dead? Okay, well, cool. But I look forward to learning more about that. Hyperion says, hey, Oxhorn, have you ever considered doing the new Doom reboot lore with the new Doom Eternal coming out this year? It might be a good time to do so. I've live streamed the latest Doom 2016 here on the channel. So I'm fully caught up on everything related to the latest incarnation of Doom. When Doom Eternal comes out, I will live stream it here on the channel. Brad Buzz says, oh my God, how did you open and close those style of blinders so easy? It would have took me 10 minutes of pulling on cords to do that. Well, practice, you know, with practice you can achieve anything, like opening blinds, which apparently is a stumbling block for some people. No Name says, did you ever check out the new Zippo inserts? I haven't had an opportunity. I've barely had an opportunity to leave the house working on live streams and lore videos, but I'll tackle it eventually. Mac West says, evening, Ox, evening, Mac West. Good to see you on the program. Mark Eric Lane says, I noticed you toned down the lore vids in favor of more live streams. Is that intentional or just coincidence? Is it due to editing the Far Harbor series? No, it's kind of nothing at all to do with any of that. Like, I did multiple live streams a week all last year. In fact, at the end of 2018, I was doing daily live streams of Fallout 76 because it was a brand new game and I wanted to cover a brand new Fallout game on my channel. When I had completed Fallout 76, at least the primary story, I wanted to continue live streaming because I enjoyed it. And so I gave myself a compromise schedule of 3 live streams a week, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I only stream 3 times a week, unlike full-time live streamers to do it every single day. And yet at the beginning of the year, I continued to knock out 5+ lore videos a week. I did the entire Broken Steel DLC for Fallout 3 during that time. I did most of the story for Fallout 3 and 2 during that time. I mean, I got a lot done. So the idea that I'm not doing lore videos is just, it's like the whole Berenstein Bears thing. You might think it's true, but it was never Bernstein Bears. It was always Berenstein Bears. Anyway, how did I get onto that? But now I've been doing around 2 videos a week, but I've stayed at the same number of live streams. So I am reducing the number of lore videos I do, but it doesn't really have anything to do with my live streams. It mainly has to do with just the time in my life that I have to dedicate to the YouTube channel. But I'm still pumping out lore videos every single week. Jay-Z says, Ox, I'm so glad to see you. What do you think of Burial at Sea so far? I think you may finish it today. So our Twitch plan's over for good. Burial at Sea is a whole lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm also interested. I'm eager to move on to a new game. I had a lot of fun in Bioshock Infinite, but I feel like I've been playing it for a very long time now. Though I am really interested in learning more about the latest Bioshock that apparently is under development. So we will cover that on the program. As for Twitch plans, yeah, I think I'm going to put my Twitch plans on hold for now. But one of the things was I really wanted to get away from streaming on YouTube because I was frustrated with the platform and the changes that they were making. However, as I said on Monday, I just enjoy streaming on YouTube personally more than I do elsewhere. So I figured, well, if I make it a big announcement to everybody, then I'm moving to something else like Mixer or Twitch. Well, then that'll just force me to do it. But then it came down to it today. I'm like, man, I'm going to miss the chat. On the VOD, the video on demand, the chat's going to be gone, and that's half the fun. And having a little thumbnail, making a thumbnail before my show every live stream, I'm going to miss doing that. Forget it. I'm just going to keep doing it on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm sidelining Twitch for now. I'll continue to stream on Twitch periodically for unintended or spontaneous live streams if I'm testing out a new game or testing some system settings or whatever. Those are always unannounced, so just follow me on Twitter if you want to get notified of any of my impromptu live streams, which will happen on Twitch. CyberXY says, should I buy Vegas? I don't know. It's a great game. It all depends on what platform you're trying to play it on. If you're trying to play it on PC, you're probably going to have to get your hands dirty in your INI settings to get it to work. But it's totally worth it. It's a great game. Phantom Pride says, hey, Oxhorn, haven't seen you live in a while. Excited about the Far Harbor series that you've got going on. Have you lit anything on fire yet? I have lit something on fire. I haven't had an opportunity to smoke it much. All right. Now it looks like I have to refill this. Austin Frieders says, even in Oxhorn from your friendly neighborhood brony for life. Well, I'm glad you're on the program today. Pleasure to have you in happy company today, Austin. Oh, and I'm getting fuel everywhere. There we go. Mitchell says, I'm so excited for the new Metro DLC and can't wait to watch the videos about it. I, too, am excited about the latest DLC from Metro Exodus. The 2 Kernels was a lot of fun. It was way too short, in my opinion. I finished the entire 2 Kernels DLC for Metro Exodus in one broadcast. One. So, yeah, I hope the next one is much more substantial. But, more importantly, I just wanted it to be great. Like the 2 Kernels was. The 2 Kernels was great. Eris says, Happy New Year, Ox. My birthday is on the 15th. Well, happy upcoming birthday to you, and Happy New Year as well. Gage Fields, new member. Welcome to the show, Gage Fields. Always good to have new members on the show today. Dawn Creep says, if you have spoke of this before, I haven't seen it. Do you have a Streamlab account? They don't take as big of a cut, and we can cover the processing fee, too. I used to use Streamlabs back when I streamed exclusively on Twitch. If you didn't know, I used to stream exclusively on Twitch. Hearthstone. I would stream Hearthstone every week. I was doing a lot of Hearthstone and Overwatch before I started doing Fallout lore. I've done a lot in my life when it comes to streaming games. But yeah, I used Streamlabs back then, but I know the platform has changed a lot. But I'm not one of those guys that has a bunch of animated GIFs that fly on the screen, you know, alerts whenever somebody subscribes, and making all these sound effects. It's noisy. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like seeing that in Twitch streams. It's just really noisy, and you see the chat go by, and there's just these tickers on the ground, and you see rainbows and unicorns flying by, and there's just an anime face, eyes sparkle. I don't get it. It's just, I want to see the person playing the game. That's what I want. And so I know Streamlabs, they use Streamlabs for a lot of that, and I stopped using Streamlabs because, I don't know, I just didn't want to get into that. Okay. Feel like I'm finally get this lit. Much better. Little Miss Cindy with a tip. Thank you very much, Little Miss Cindy. And here, just immediately after I start ranting about animated GIFs and stuff in Streamlabs, she uses an animated GIF tip of a lemon blowing a kiss. Is that a lemon blowing a kiss? It's very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Little Miss Cindy. Yeah, says, just wanted to say to my friendly neighborhood Oxhorn, big smiley face. Yeah, my friend, right back at you. Big smiley face. Have you played the Stanley Parable? Asks Vladimir Koshelenko. Stanley Parable. I've never played it, but I'm curious. Stanley Parable. Interactive. Here, let's just switch it to the other monitor so I'm not straining my gaze. Stanley Parable is an interactive storytelling and walking simulator video game. A walking simulator? Designed by American developer Davey Wren. Walking simulator? Is that like Death Stranding, where you're just sort of like a inventory management package delivery simulator? I mean, I haven't played Death Stranding, but I saw the reviews and the videos, and I was, less than intrigued. I mean, I'd have to check it out, but it's just, I love the storytelling aspect of it. Interactive video storytelling, walking simulator. I don't know if that's something I could really wrap my head around. But hey, they say don't judge a book by its cover, and I probably shouldn't judge a game by its Wikipedia page. So try everything once. Jay-Z says, Ox, what's the plan for the next game on Thursday? Oh, I don't know. Oh, man, I don't even know. Oh, I need to think about it. Oh, I got to come up with a new game. Far Cry was my new game. Oh, no. Did I just melt my new cord? No, it's just ash. I bought Far Cry 5. I was going to play Far Cry 5. Then I installed Far Cry 5 and tried to play it on my brand new computer. I say brand new, but it's well over a year old now. But I tried to play it on this computer that I built myself. And the moment I launched Far Cry 5, I get a big pop-up message saying, we have detected that you're cheating. Using, like, hacks. I'm like, what? I've never used hacks a day in my life. And I Google it, and apparently it's not just me. It has something to do with the RGB lighting on my motherboard. Yes, you could just, I'm not even making this up. If you Google it, if you Google it, Far Cry 5 has a problem with their anti-cheat software that will wrongly detect the RGB software, or firmware, I should say, installed on your motherboard as being some sort of back-end backdoor cheat. And there's no fix for it. Like, I spent hours trying to get it to work so I could play the game I paid for, but no, because I've got RGB lights on my Asus ROG motherboard, I can't play it. So that was my backup plan, and that's gone. I can't play Far Cry 5 now, so I have to figure something else out. Maybe this Stanley Parable is what I need to do. Now, there were the, what was it? The Sherlock Holmes games by the same guys who did Sinking City, Frogware. I was told those would be a lot of fun, and I did enjoy the Sinking City. It's a slow-paced, methodical, quirky game, but I still enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do something like that. Rachel says, can you clarify FEV as a toxin in Fallout 2 or 3 versus transformation to super mutants? Can you clarify FEV, the forced evolutionary virus, as a toxin in Fallout 2/3 versus transformation into super mutants? So I don't quite understand the question, but I can say that FEV has changed in every game where it's appeared. This includes FEV compared between Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. The FEV of Fallout 1 is not the FEV of Fallout 2. The FEV of Fallout 2 has been changed by the Enclave to be turned into some sort of aerosolized mass mutation murder machine, right? Which is very different from the FEV of Fallout 1, which only worked when someone was dipped into it, and then had a different reaction depending on the caliber of the human being who was dipped into it. You had to be a prime human to become an intelligent super mutant. Otherwise, you could become a really stupid super mutant or even a centaur if other non-humanoid DNA was thrown into the vat with you. In Fallout 3, it was changed again. by John Henry Eden and his scientific team. They changed it into something completely different, which instead of being aerosolized was transmitted through water, and it only affected people who were mutated. People who were not mutated were not affected by it, which is like the exact opposite of how FEV worked in Fallout 1, because it primarily affected prime people who had not been mutated, interestingly enough. And then, yeah, the FEV of the Institute was very different from the FEV that we find in Appalachia. So, it's just FEV is used as a storytelling device that will do whatever the plot needs it to do in every single Fallout game where it's appeared. It's just, you're doing a game about a giant evil mad scientist creature who creates a super mutant army. Okay, well we'll put that in for Fallout 1. Oh, you need an evil governmental corporation to murder everyone on Earth, and you need FEV to do that. Okay, now it's an aerosolized thing. So they just change it as the story warrants. That's the flexible nature of FEV. Gage F says, "Hey Oxhorn, love your content." Thank you, Gage. Good to have you on the program. Cole McLean says, "This is Dr. Fraser Kane with a $5 donation, wishing you good mental health." Well, thank you very much, Dr. Fraser Crane. Hope your show in Seattle is doing well. I have to say I haven't tuned in quite some time. I prefer your brother's methods. Nigel is much more interesting. Sorry. Ethan H says, "Have you thought about moving Red Dead Redemption to twice a week?" I suppose I could do that. But with Red Dead Redemption, it's one of those games where it takes me a while to get into it. Like, it's not something I can just dive in and have a few quick matches and then I'm done. It's something I really want to take my time, and it really takes a good full 4 hours for me to get my feet wet and to get a few quests done and to get into the world. So I don't know if it would work really well as the game that I play in during Scotch and Smoke Rings. Keith says, "The Stanley Parable is amazing. Please play." Well, I'll have to look into it. If everyone in the chat is vouching for it, must be a good game. Caleb says, "Ox, what do you think about Wastelanders?" I don't know anything about Wastelanders, so I'm looking forward to learning more about it when it comes out. That's what I'm waiting on. "Will you stream Fallout Miami when it is officially released on the Nexus?" says Stephen Abbott. I don't know. I will probably be busy with something else at the time. So it's not high priority for me. I am interested in it and curious about it, but I'm focusing primarily on canonical Fallout lore for now. William Wise says, "Ox, to fix Far Cry 5, just end the task on lightning.exe and the task manager should work after that." Yeah, the problem is that I don't have that. I saw that when I was trying to diagnose this myself, and I don't have a lightning.exe in my task manager. I've got Lightning Service, 32-bit. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I'll try that after the broadcast, see if that fixes it. Thank you, William. Laneberry says, 2019 was full of ups and downs. However, your content was consistently amazing. Thank you so much. Democracy is non-negotiable. Well, thank you, Liberty Prime, for those words of wisdom. And thank you again for watching the content. No Name says, that Todd Howard, always changing everything. Well, I mean, you could blame Todd Howard for changing the way FEV works between 3 and 4, but not between 1 and 2. that was outside of his hands. Got to say that. And even then, I mean, Todd Howard's not really the story director. Right? John Post says, the beard is looking good, Ox. Keep up the great content. Thank you, John. It's, the trick that I have found to growing a good beard is to not touch it. Just leave it alone. Let it do its thing. And it all works out. Sage advice. Words to live by. Gay Jeff says, where do you get some of your Fallout items? Well, many of my Fallout items come from the official Bethesda store. Many others come from Etsy. They are handmade creations by wonderfully artistic people. So just go to Etsy. There's a lot of great stuff there. You can find almost everything that I've got on my shelf back there on Etsy. Keith Schwerin says, do you have any wishes for Fallout 5 concerning lore / story / gameplay / retcons / location? And what are they? Oh, you know, it'd be nice for them to tackle the jet issue. Like if they could throw in a retcon that fixes the whole jet issue, that would be nice. I thought I discovered something while I was playing through Fallout 2 that solved the whole jet problem. But even though I found numerous locations that talked about this particular issue, I wasn't able to replicate it in my game installation, so I ended up not covering it in my Fallout 2 series. But yeah, having that fixed would be really interesting. I'd like to learn more about the Great Game. The Great Game was introduced during the Point Lookout DLC by, what's his name? The brain in the jar, Dr. Cuthbert or Cuthridge or something. Anyway, there were two characters at the end of the Point Lookout DLC where we discovered that they had been participating in a great game for the past 200 years that was played by the rich and powerful before the bombs dropped. And it was sort of like a Hunger Games sort of thing where the game was to kill the other really rich and powerful people from before the war and not be killed. That was the Great Game. And they kind of threw that out there at the end of the Point Lookout DLC, and I'm like, oh, really? Wow, okay. And then you can help one of the characters kill the other guy, and then that's it. And they haven't really talked about it much since then. Now, there are a lot of theories that some of the other characters introduced in the Bethesda RPGs might also be part of the Great Game, like Lorenzo Cabot, for example, who existed before the war. It's likely that he was part of the Great Game. I think he might have even mentioned it. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'd love to learn more about that. Like, how did this Great Game start? Who were the players involved? Who were the players left? How many of these members have died over the course of 200 years playing the Great Game? And what's the prize, aside from life? Which is great. You know, that's prize enough. But aside from being able to live, what's the point of getting involved? Because you can live and not participate in the Great Game. Like if I was a pre-war ghoul, and at one time I had been a millionaire, and the world is now over, but at least I'm alive, and now I'm immortal, and then all of the other pre-war ghoul billionaires are now playing this Great Game, I'd opt out. I'd be like, no. You guys go ahead. Play your Great Game. Kill each other. I think I'm going to go over here for a bit. Just staying out of this one. Like, why? What's the lure? Why are these people motivated to play the Great Game? Or is it just that evil rich people like to kill each other? That's not interesting. But I'd like some closure on that. I want to find out exactly what the Great Game is all about. So if they could cover that, Bethesda, if you're watching, not that you are, but if you are, you know, for Fallout 5, the Great Game, let's cover that for a bit. Mark Eric Lane says, Ox is a Fallout mod for Europa Universalis 4. Oh, okay. That's Europa Universalis 4. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoy that. I'll have to check it out after the program. Scarlet Artemis says, good evening from Australia. Good evening, Scarlet. I hope you are doing all right. I hope your family is doing all right. I can't help but read the awful headlines coming from Australia right now, what with all of the fires going on. So, you know, I hope that you and everyone you love are safe and that things are going okay for you. But I'm glad you're on the program today. Good to have you here. Vault Meat says, Happy New Year, Ox. Got your beard t-shirt for Christmas. Hey, that's great. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of tweets from people who got some of my merchandise for Christmas. And the print quality, I'm just really thrilled with. I used Cafe Press a lot before I switched to Teespring. This was years ago. It was long before I did Fallout stuff. But I've had many different merchandise shops in my time. But I used Cafe Press for a long time, and I would purchase from them occasionally just to see what my own merchandise looked like. And I was always really disappointed by the print quality. So when I see the pictures of the shirts that you guys are getting from Teespring, man, the print quality just consistently looks really, really good. So yeah, I'm glad that you love your shirt, and thanks to everybody who keeps sending me photographs of your merchandise from my shop. It really makes me happy. Pardon me. Goodness. Stephen Knizek says, I remember you had an old video where you just repeat the word beard in varying seriousness and volume, but I can't find it anymore. Did you delete it? No, I didn't delete it. I don't think I deleted it. It's so that was back before I did Fallout stuff. I had a beard. I had a beard website where I wrote about beards, and I had a beard blog. Oh, I can't find it either. Maybe I made it private years ago. I think that's what I did. I think I made it private years ago. But yeah, I made this one video where it was just me saying beard. It was like 5 minutes of me looking in the camera and going, beard? Grow a beard? I wanted to promote my beard website. You know, I would review beard brushes and beard combs and beard scissors and stuff like that. And I wasn't doing anything with my YouTube channel at the time. I would do a Hearthstone playthrough every now and then, and maybe a Scotch and Smoke Rings. But I wasn't doing Fallout, so I'm like, well, I'll try and promote my beard website. Grow a beard! That was the entire video. It was like 5 minutes of that. I don't know where I think it's probably private by now. Yeah. I'll look for it. I'll see if I can find it, Steven. Good memory. Good memory on you. Glad you're in the chat today. Sporker Foe says, hey, Oxhorn, did you ever think about playing Disco Elysium? You guys are doing, having me do all sorts of Googling today. Disco Elysium. Is this a game you guys had me look up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember looking this up many, many weeks ago. I don't know. I'm really into first-person stuff. Like, this is isometric. Now, I know I'm going through Fallout 2, or I recently went through Fallout 2, and of course, I think many can understand why I did that. It's part of the franchise, and I wanted to capture the lore, but games that I personally enjoy playing, it's primarily first-person or sometimes third-person. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look at it. I'll stay with the herd, says the Guardians of Equestria smile upon you. Smile upon you. Well, thank you, Guardians of Equestria. I'm sad that Equestria needs guardians. That must mean that there's some sort of evil in your world. A dark force, perhaps. But at least Equestria has these guardians. And I'm glad they're smiling upon me, so thank you. Ryder Wheeler says, could Kellogg have been around during Fallout 2? He was around during Fallout 2. It's so weird that you're bringing this up. I'm actually doing a video on this. Well, it's not specifically on this, but I do cover it. So I've got my next Far Harbor video already done and scheduled. It'll be coming out on Saturday. And I'm working on a new Fallout 2 video. It's kind of ambitious. It's got a lot of interaction with Fallout New Vegas. It's requiring me to navigate through a number of different game saves in both of those games to capture all the footage. So I don't know if I'm going to get it done by Sunday. But during the course of doing research for that video, I discovered that Kellogg was over 40 years old when the Chosen One was born during the events of Fallout 2. Conrad Kellogg is older than the Elder of Arroyo. Conrad Kellogg is older than Owen Lyons. When we see San Francisco during Kellogg's memories during Fallout 4, those flashbacks occurred probably about 20 years, somewhere around 20 years before the Chosen One was even born. So when he mentions the she, he's not talking about a post-destruction of Control Station Enclave she. He's talking about a pre-Chosen One she that existed before the Chosen One ever went to San Francisco, which I thought was really interesting. So yeah, I don't think he was actually in the California wasteland during the events of Fallout 2, but he is a pre-Fallout 2 character. Kellogg's just a fascinating character. I love and hate Conrad Kellogg at the same time. Welcome, new members Luke Wooler and Chaos Envoy. Me says, hello, Oxhorn. That's all I got for that one. For $14, thank you, I will, of course, allow you to call me Oxhorn. Although I am not a body spray at all. Of course, if I ever had a body spray, I would probably go to the Axe company and say, hey, I've got an idea for you. Horn. The scent of cigar. Shh. Oxhorn. Right? I could totally pitch that. It's my next $1 million idea. Volbeat says it's my favorite t-shirt. I'll need another on my birthday. Lol. Well, I hope you can get another on your birthday. And happy upcoming birthday to you. All right, I need to pour some scotch. It's 48 minutes into the program, and I haven't even poured my scotch. You guys are just asking all the great questions right now. Top Dollar says, where are the smoke rings, Zox? All right, give me a second here. I'm pouring scotch right now. Gotta have my priorities straight. Here, let's set this out for a second. Jackson says Old Spice would be better than Oxhorn. I don't know. Maybe I could mix Old Spice and Oxhorn to create something new. Come on. It's a good one. No Name says unsmoked Oxhorn scent. I'd buy that. Unsmoked cigar scent. Oh, I see. Not currently smoking cigar scent. No, that's probably smart. If we were to do a tobacco-themed body spray, it would have to be pipe tobacco, I think. Can we just... Pipe tobacco is the best smelling tobacco. A nice English blend that has not become dry and bitter. Oh, just nothing beats pipe tobacco. It's the best. Ox, did you ever get the backstory on the Morton residence near Bradburton in Nuka World? Stumbled onto it, but not sure what the deal is with it, says Matt R. The Morton residence, yeah, that's the one with the basement that you can go into from the sewer pipe in Bradburton, and then you can kill the rad roaches and the ghouls when you go upstairs. I think the only story is that there's a suit of Exo 1 power armor in the garage. Right? I don't recall there being much of a story with that place. I always assumed it was just, someone who lived in Bradburton who was there when the bombs dropped and was trying to, hold out in their house and didn't last very long. Jessica Sharp says, do you have a favorite vigor in Bioshock Infinite? Mine is Murder of Crows. I love Murder of Crows thematically. In terms of practicality, honestly, I find it very difficult to use vigors and plasmids in Bioshock. If you watch any of my gameplays, I kind of find one or two things, and I just do them over and over again. There's the one shield one that I used a lot in Bioshock Infinite, and then the electric one. I like using the electricity. That's really all I used. Me says darn or damn. I can't tell. The R is really close to that N if it is darn. Darn coming from daily tactics. Okay. Coming from a daily tactics stream, spending like $230 and now watching a man smoke and drink. What a day. Sounds like you have had a day, my friend. Well, you're in the right place. You're in the right place, even if your wallet is a tad lighter. Cheers. I'll stay with the herd says, all right, enough of my weirdness. Just wanted to say you're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you very much. Weirdness is welcome here on the in the chat to a certain extent. Like there is a limit. There's a limit to the weirdness, but you haven't exceeded that yet, so we're all good. Stephen A says, if you had to pick darts or pool, You had to ask that question. I'm about to reveal how terribly uncool I am. Because I don't terribly like either. Or particularly like either. I know, I like the idea of billiards and darts. And I'm not good. I'm not good at either. Like, when I went on vacation this Thanksgiving, we rented a cabin. And they had a pool table there. And my in-laws didn't know how to play, and so I taught them how to play. And then they got really excited and wanted to play, and I got bored. And I said no. I taught them how to play the game, and then I walked away. That's what I didn't want to play. I think I could probably do darts. If I had to pick one, I'd probably better enjoy darts. I know it's weird, because I like the idea of billiards, but it's just a lot of standing and geometry and balls. Darts, however, you've got pointy objects and aerodynamics and a satisfying thud. Victor Volkov says, we need an Oxhorn ASMR video lighting cigars, pouring scotch, and talking about beards. In a soft, sultry voice. Oh, I don't think I could do an ASMR channel. How would that even go? Beards. Woolly beards. Prickly beards. Gray beards. Black beards. Oily beards. Lil Red says, what's your favorite stogie brand? I'm really not particular. As long as it's not a gas station cigar, I'm fine. I dislike the cigars where they take some sort of sweet sauce and they just slather it all over the end so that when you put it in your mouth, you get that blast of sweet. I dislike that very much. I like hand-rolled cigars. I don't like the cigars where you crack them open and a poof of tobacco confetti comes out. No. That's a sawdust cigar. We don't want that. Those are made by people who, after making the hand-rolled cigars, get a broom and sweep up all the cuttings on the floor of the factory assembly floor and just dump them into a single wrapped tobacco leaf to sell at gas stations. So, no, those are not the cigars you want. If you get a hand-rolled cigar, you're gonna be fine. Dawn Creep says, I filled out paperwork at work years ago, so I can't smoke or vape without risking my job. Take a puff from me, please. Well, my friend, you've got your priorities straight. You really do. And it's not worth it. You're really not missing much. But I will take a puff for you, certainly. There you go, my friend. No Name says, hello, my name is Oxhorn, and this is NPR. I could probably do something on NPR. What? Should I have my own NPR show? What would it be about? And don't say beards, because I can only say curly beards, oily beards, so many times before I just start to hate myself. Ryan Kane says, whoa, Oxhorn talking about balls and pointy objects? Listen, yeah, I am ashamed at myself. Don't know what got over me. We were talking about billiards and darts, and one thing led to another, and I crossed a line. Sorry. Cheers. The Code Gamer X7 says, Ox, any chance you can get Dead Space working? No, I'm giving up on that. I tried. I spent hours and days, like multiple days. I wanted to play Dead Space so badly that I tried one day, hours on one day, couldn't get it to work. Hours on another day, just over and over again. I couldn't get it to work on this machine. And I'm typically okay at that kind of thing. I mean, I got Fallout 3 to work. I've gotten Fallout 1 and 2 to work. Finally, I just couldn't get Dead Space to work. I bought it on Steam. I bought it on GOG. I just couldn't get it to work. So I'm done. I'm not even going to try anymore. David Norrell says, having a hot cup of tea here. No caffeine. That actually sounds really nice. I also will have a nice green tea when I'm working on a video, or if I'm doing a lot of audio recording. Nothing's better than a big pitcher. And this is the pitcher that I use, by the way. I'm just using water right now. But this is my hydration pitcher, because you need to stay hydrated during your day, especially if you're sitting in one spot a lot like I do and recording audio or editing audio or diving through your Adobe Premiere timeline and you need some hydration. But I'll fill this with hot green tea with just a little bit of honey sometimes, or some stevia or xylitol. Those are some good sweeteners. And man, I'll suck a couple of those down each day. I stay hydrated. It's good for you. Caleb Doughty says, hey, Oxhorn, do you enjoy Romeo and Julieta cigars? I do. Romeo and Juliet was the brand that Churchill smoked, so you can't go wrong with a good Churchill-sized Romeo and Julieta. Josh Bundlin says, how about a possible stream of you just playing darts? Man, I don't know. I mean, darts, in terms of a pub game, I think darts is one of the more tolerable pub games I might be able to do. But it's not like I've sat down and played many games of darts. In fact, I've probably played maybe one or two in my entire life. So I think we'll just rule out pub games in general from something I'm going to spend a lot of my time doing. Maybe if I ever go somewhere, like to a convention, and I find myself in a pub, then sure, I'll tackle one of these pub games. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way to do, though. Sebi says, hey, have you tried Alpha Protocol? Story is great. Let's check it out. 2010, 91% of players enjoyed this game. An action role-play game developed by Obsidian. Published by Sega. Released from Microsoft. Okay. Really? Alpha Protocol by Obsidian? The espionage RPG. How am I just now learning that Obsidian made an espionage RPG? Writers Chris Avallone? What? I'm suddenly very interested. 2010, before Fallout New Vegas. I'll have to check it out. And I say that a lot, but I mean it. And I always mean it, but at this time I particularly mean it. Not that I don't particularly mean it every time I say that I'll check it out, because I do. I do. Me says, just saying, I came from that other stream asking if he wanted to come to Denmark and that I'll pay for the tickets, and he turned me down. Now I ask you, are you going to turn me down? Yeah. Sorry. I mean, look, I don't mean to offend, but I can't just invite a social call from anyone who shows up to my chat. By the way, didn't you ask me once in the past? I have a strange feeling that I've been asked to go to Denmark in the past. By a viewer of my program. What is it about Denmark? They just want Oxhorn. It's a very kind offer, don't get me wrong. But I'm a very busy individual. I have to stay here. When I'm not in front of this computer, content is not made. And as we all know, that's the reason we're all here today. You're all here today. So I got to stick my nose to the grindstone, as kind as that offer is. But I got to keep focused. I got to maintain my focus. Parker Smith says, favorite decade style as in Art Deco or the 1950s. I enjoy Art Deco. I don't know if it's something I would really like to live in, but I like the look of Art Deco. Googie architecture is what I think you're talking about in terms of the 1950s. And I like retro-futuristic Googie. I don't like actual Googie, because to me, when I see Googie, it makes me feel like it's old and dilapidated, run down. I've been to too many Googie diners that just were falling apart. So, yeah, I don't know. Favorite architectural style? Or favorite art style? I don't know. It's rough. So many good ones. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions. Then I got to dive into the game. Luke Wooler with a very generous tip. Thank you very much, Luke. Says, I came across your channel around 2 years ago. Ended up switching out music for your voice instead. Just wanted to show my appreciation for all the content over the years. Put this towards your next bottle of scotch. Keep up the fantastic work, buddy. Well, thank you, my friend. I will put that towards my next bottle. I'm still enjoying this one. This was my Christmas present from my wife. Some nice Glenfiddich. But when this is done, I will be sure to use that for the next bottle. Thank you very much, Luke. Rachel says, Oxhorn saying, I'll check it out, is the equivalent of mom saying, maybe. You know what's wrong with what happens in my family? And I have only myself to blame. When the kids will ask me to do something like, Daddy, can you take me to see Frozen 2? Or, Daddy, can you sit down and play Play-Doh with me? Or something like that. And if I'm busy, I'm in the middle of something, I'll go, someday. But then they're tricky. They go, Sunday? Great. What time's Sunday? No, someday. And my son, this glint in his eye. Sunday. Yeah, we know, Dad. Sunday. What time's Sunday? It's like they want to get me down to the schedule. Exactly. They want to just write me into their itinerary for Sunday. X and such o'clock. Daddy's going to take me to go see Frozen 2. So I can't say someday now because it's a gag. Both my son and daughter will be like, oh, Sunday, right? No, someday, Sunday. Yeah, we got it. Can't say it anymore. So that word is now banned. Okay, Josh Bunton says game time. Indeed, it is game time. Let me pull that on up. Let's put this chat over there. Let's see. There we go. I see Mixer. Sorry if I've been ignoring you all on Mixer. It's hard for me to look between both chats. But I see Twiggy and Strange Koi and Dare to Knife and CA Midnight and everybody, Rev Coyote, everybody on Mixer right now. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Infinite. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing Infinite. Let's get Steam up and running here. Bioshock Infinite. All right, let me turn down the other music.
Okay.
Ooh, that's loud. That is a loud intro sequence. Here we go. Now, where were we in our last episode? We fired up. Oh, that's right.
60 seconds.
There must be half a dozen of them or more. I've got to get ready. Traps. I can use the plasmids as traps and seed the room with them. I gotta find somewhere to hide.
Great. I'm seeding the room with traps. What traps should I use? Old Man Winter? I mean, it's really the only trap I've got. I've got Peeping Tom, but that's not really something you trap with. Ironsides? That's the one where it stops bullets, right? All right, I guess I'll seed the room with Old Man Winter. I wish I had my electric plasmid.
Surprise them. Take them down one by one. Booker, I'm scared.
They'll underestimate you, Elizabeth. People always do.
40 seconds. You know what I see on your face? Uncertainty. Who is this girl to you? 30 seconds. Do you know the value of the shark? Without them, the sea would be littered with the detritus. The weak, the men who come for you have much in common with those great animals.
What's that?
What sharks do for the ocean, these men do for rapture.
Oh, yeah.
20 seconds. I will tell you something you already sense. Atlas does not honor agreements, and Orion does. I cannot save your Sally, but I can save you. Time. You're not a hero. You're not even a parasite. You're just a room. And Orion has no time for rules.
Gonna make short work of you.
Bruce Law says, I would say make every Sunday Sunday. Understand?
Your number's up.
Fine. If that's what's going to happen, I guess we'll just use the shotgun.
Get back here.
Okay. Josh says turn the game down. It's very loud. Okay, thank you for that. I turned it down. Well, I don't get what's going on right now because Andrew Ryan pretty much offered me a deal, but it looks like my only option is to not take the deal. My only
60
option is to
seconds.
defend.
There must be half a dozen of them or more. I've got to get ready. Traps. I can use the plasmids as traps
I mean, this didn't work.
and seed the room with them. I gotta find somewhere to hide. Surprise them. Take them down one by one. Booker. I'm scared.
They'll underestimate you, Elizabeth. People always do.
40 seconds. You know what I see on your face? Uncertainty. Who is this girl to you? 30 seconds. Do you know the value of the shark? Without them, the sea would be littered with the detritus of the weak. The men who come for you have much in common with those great animals. What sharks do for the ocean, these men do for rapture. 20 seconds. I will tell you something you already sense. Atlas does not honor agreements, and Orion does. I cannot save your Sally, but I can save you.
Come on, hold on.
Time. You're not a hero. You're not even a parasite. You're just a room. And Orion has no time for rules.
Okay, so they just teleport in. That's what's going on here? Fine.
Don't walk away now. Fun's just beginning.
Get back here!
You're still here, aren't you? Hiding? That's how it's gonna be? There's the girl! Yeah! Just don't know it yet. Don't walk away now.
Not in the mood for this. Hide and seek.
Pardon my silence.
Where is she? Lady, you're working my last nerve.
Won't even see me coming. Don't think you can hide.
What the? You're still here, aren't you? There she is. I take no pleasure getting run.
Personal, sweethearts.
Ah!
Let's make this easy and both.
Its screaming is really intense.
Let's make this easy and both. Your number's up.
Where is he? There's like
Nothing
one guy
personal,
left.
sweethearts. Whatever you're here for, sister, you won't get anywhere hiding.
How does he keep coming back there?
I beat your sharks, Ryan. The better man won. Isn't that the only thing you respect? Now let me the hell out of here.
Sounds like all hell's breaking loose out there. What's your plan?
I can't just place the particle on the ceiling. It would just tear right through it. But every building in Rapture was submerged into the ocean on the Lunette ring, connected to the junction of its load-bearing supports.
That's fascinating and all, but if you haven't noticed, Ryan sent his goons to murder us. If you're gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat, Now's the time to do it.
Looks like the structural junction is in Frank Fontaine's office. If I can get there, I can float the building.
It so happens I've taken that bastard's office for my own use. I'll make sure you've access to the private elevator. Now hurry.
Where's that noise coming from now? New noises. That's nice. Do I have any darts left at all? I do. There's another dart. 4 darts. What the heck? What's going on here?
About goddamn time you showed. I've got you cold. This is all yours. There you are. About goddamn time you showed. Last time you'll see. There you are. Time's up, you goddamn twit.
Oh, hooray!
There you are. You're too good for me.
Yeah, the Possess KO mod causes enemies to be knocked out once the effect wears off. Oh. So it's an instant out of the game. Fantastic. Well, that actually changes quite a lot. Makes that plasmid much more useful.
Where'd you go? You left me with nothing. Everyone wants a piece of me.
Clear down here.
Can't keep running forever. About goddamn time you showed.
Medicine, none of which I can use. Josh Bunton says, Oxhorn, the firefight is between both hostile factions. So, the Splicers and...
Let's get down. About goddamn time you showed.
They keep saying the same thing over.
Where do you I made you a solid offer.
Okay. But wait a minute, no, this goes behind the counter.
Hide it? That's how it's gonna be?
Another coded message. Attempt to retrieve Ace in the Hole from Suchong unsuccessful. Ryan Private Security killed 3 of our men in the bargain. You'll need to explore alternate means of obtaining Ace.
2 of 4. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the rest. And that's where I came from. So, to continue, we go this way.
We'll not let you in talk.
Well, you'd think they would have killed each other by now, huh? There are a lot of dead. I will give them
Steal
that.
my lead.
Where are they?
Let's make this easy on both of us.
Go to Fontaine's office.
To grow to overcome. I ain't letting a good lead like
There
you get
they
away.
are. Okay, finally. Now
Christ,
there is
better
another
prep for my next
tunnel.
meeting.
Let's get some food, heal on up while we're at the diner. Lavo Spear Deluxe. Can we eat any of this grub?
You can't
No.
talk to me like that. Show me some respect.
I won't let it hold.
Bingo! Oh yeah! Winter Forget mod. Cause enemies to forget the player once they thaw out. I don't know if it's worth it. It's 5 lockpicks.
Your imperfections will gang up on me in crisis.
Feel like a man.
They must be exceeds. My numerous performance to me.
It's my boss. No doubt about that.
God says that's how we evolve.
Friends.
Physically and
Out for drinks once.
if you're not prepared for metamorphosis,
Me and a couple of the
then
other
man,
guys, but like I said, friends. Who's this bum?
Very painful, I assure you.
Man, these guys were just a bunch of chatty Cathys. Just chatting away. Okay, well, there we go. Now to Manta Ray Lounge. These are all the other fellows they killed. See if we can get any ammunition from them. Got 3 darts left. I don't see anyone. Wait. What was that?
Girl, better you than me, pal. I'm not taking the next bullet.
He'll stay outside, right? Yeah, let's just pretend he'll stay outside. Okay. We got soda. Someone's uniform. That's it. No money? Oh. See any pipes? Vents, that is? Nope, no vents. Justin Reed says, imagine if Ox would play some classic Diablo. Oh man, you're bringing back memories of my youth. Oh, I had so much fun with Diablo.
There's supposed to be a
Diablo.
brunette. Anyone seen her? Look around! The rest of Atlas's crew are barricaded up that elevator shaft. When the backup arrives, we'll go in and take them out easy.
I heard that.
You can't keep running forever.
Ryan's building up considerable cachet with me. He says you go. You
Get back here! This one's down for the count. We're not all easy targets, you...
Enough. Ain't nobody here.
That was really expensive. I used all my Eve, practically.
Ryan said the girl's gonna die first. I don't ask questions.
Ooh. Audible.
Louie. Hey, if you don't get down here soon, there's not going to be an ounce of booze or a piece of ass for the taking. Sometimes I think you've taken this whole Robin Hood business a bit too much to heart. Fontaine's got us out there ladling soup for the purpose of building an army. Not to share the milk of human kindness. You keep up this kind of behavior, I'm gonna start thinking there's more red in you than Karl Marx. What the hell? Splicers. They're busting in! Hurwitz! Tell Fontaine the perimeter's compromised!
Christmas 1958. Zed says, wow, is this live? This is indeed live. Unless you're watching the video on demand, in which case it's not live. But if I called out your name, then there's no way you're watching the video on demand, in which case, yes, it's live.
These jerks thought it was a good play getting in the ring with Ryan.
Welcome to the party, boys.
Girl, Alice's crew, no witnesses. What else you need to know?
Atlas followers have been living on borrowed time, if you ask me.
Ooh, nasty. Oh, he's headed right towards them. Wait a minute, I've got an idea. Oh, I'm all out of gas knockout. Oh, man.
Ryan's built up considerable cash with me. He said.
Okay, he's moving away.
Ryan said the girls gonna come first.
Fontaine smugglers were a good fight in the fisheries. I'd expect it from this lot.
Show yourself! Not in the mood for this hide and seek.
Dog on water, I'm
Better have a
standing.
good reason to...
Shame to go down like that to waste.
Run away! Keep running! Well, that didn't go according to plan.
She's gone for good now.
She knew her ticket to Rapture was a one-way proposition.
You can warn people not to collapse a quantum superposition, but do they ever really listen?
So ends the DeWitt Comstock line.
Don't let your grief overwhelm you, sister.
One could believe a mission is doomed to failure, and wish sincerely that it wasn't. Hopes like quantum superpositions have a tendency to collapse.
The girl, Alice's crew, no witnesses. What else you need to know?
It's the first time we had the Lutesses chatting at us like that. Oh, and I gotta search all this again, don't I?
There's supposed to be a brunette. Anyone seen her? Look around!
You should
Show
have taken
yourself.
Ryan's deal. Nothing personal, sweetheart. Can't keep running forever.
Louie. Hey, if you don't get down here soon, there's not gonna be an ounce of booze or...
I don't understand how he got behind me that time.
Ryan said the girl's got a...
She's gone for good now.
She knew her ticket to Rapture was a one-way proposition.
You can warn people not to collapse a quantum superposition, but do they ever really listen?
So ends the DeWitt Comstock line.
Don't let your grief overwhelm you, sister.
One could believe a mission is doomed to failure, and wish sincerely that it wasn't. Hopes like quantum superpositions have a tendency to collapse.
Ethan says, when you're sneaking, avoid water and broken glass. Sage advice, thank you.
There's supposed to be a brunette. Anyone seen her?
You should be ashamed! What's going on? Time's up, you goddamn twist! Get off my nose. What's going on?
Reload on that is so slow.
even see me coming.
What makes the girl different? I suspect it has less to do with what she is, and rather
I thought I
more
could
with what
use
she
the
is
dart
not.
to knock out that
A small
fire
part of her
guy right at the
remains from where
beginning
she
there, but he's
came.
wearing a helmet, isn't
It
he?
would seem the universe does not like its peas mixed with its porridge.
Let's try a different way.
There's supposed to be a brunette. Anyone seen her? Look around!
The rest of...
Louie. Hey, if you don't get down here soon, there's not gonna be an ounce of booze or a piece of ass for the taking. Sometimes I think you've taken this whole Robin Hood business a bit too much to heart. Fontaine's got us out there ladling soup for the purpose of building an army. Not to share the milk of human kindness. You keep up this kind of behavior, I'm gonna start thinking there's more red in you than Karl Marx. What the hell? Splicers. Busting in! Horwitz! Tell Fontaine the perimeter's compromised!
Okay, we did much better that time. One, two, three, four.
Guy made a city at the bottom of the ocean, and they thought it was a wise idea crossing him. This one's down for the count. We're not all easy targets, you get me? And his followers are on time to me.
Smart enough to know Ryan's smarter than all of us.
McChaster says Houdini's take 2 darts, my man.
Ryan said the group...
Oh, is that what that was? That was a Houdini splicer? Oh. Well, that explains it. Thank you.
I'd expected more from this lot.
That's a lot of darts.
Not sure which one of these jerks thought it was a good play getting in the ring with Ryan.
That's right. Come up here. Now!
Then Ryan doesn't much. Some skirt.
Get in. Girl than Atlas's crew.
Better you than me, pal. I'm not...
Woo! Ah! Okay.
Too bad we gotta kill the twist. Shame to put talent like that to
Hey,
waste.
who's that?
Come find
Don't
out.
think you can hide.
Anyone come across this girl he mentioned?
Fontaine smugglers put up a good fight in the fisheries. I expected more from this lot.
I've got you cold.
Stupid jerk. Should have never stuck his neck out.
Stupid jerk.
Had any principles, you wouldn't be skulking around.
Stupid jerk. Should have never stuck his neck out.
That's how it's gonna be? Look, I've had enough of this. Someone else can find her. There she is!
Goddamn time you showed. can't keep running forever.
You judge a man by his enemies.
Time's up, you goddamn twist!
What's that? What's a twist?
Come on out. Let's make this quick. You can't keep running forever.
Ran off? No skin off my nose.
Too bad.
Enough. Ain't nobody here.
Not sure which one of the nerds thought it was a good play getting in the ring with Ryan.
Stupid.
Come on out. You got my full attention.
Good, because I think you're the last one. Where are ya? There he is.
Fontaine smugglers put up a good fight at the fisheries.
Don't make me hunt you down like an animal.
Twerk Turtle says, "What do you plan on playing next, sir?" During the Thursday time slot, I'm not sure. Haven't decided yet.
Giving each of these clowns a bullet.
Gone? Life what did? You still here, aren't you? There's the girl!
Guy made a city at the bottom of the ocean.
Where'd he go?
Come on out. You got my full attention.
Oh, he moved all the way down there.
You judge a man by his enemies. Then Ryan doesn't amount to much. Some skirt and a bunch of...
Where is she? Lady, you're working my last nerve. Ran off? No skin off my nose.
Not sure which one of these jerks thought it was a good play.
I still hear someone chatting, but I think we got almost everyone. Feeling pretty good.
Too bad we got a kill on the twist. Shame to put talent like that to waste.
Where is this guy?
Told Ryan he should have given each of these clowns a bullet, not a prison.
McChaster says he isn't unfortunately. Sorry to burst your bubble. That's all right. We'll make it through. All this food, and all I get is a lousy packet of crisps. I mean, I could smoke some cigarettes, but...
You judge a man by his enemies. Then Ryan doesn't amount to much. Some skirt and a bunch of cases.
There he is.
Too bad. Shame to put talent like
Told Ryan he should have given each of these clowns a bullet.
Could have been worse.
Fontaine smugglers.
Lore.
I never thought anyone would be able to bring all these degenerate splice heads into line. I gotta hand it to Atlas. After Ryan locked us up in this pit, I thought that was it. Just a long, final dive into the abyss.
Oh, I got a new
Disappear
plasma.
from sight, see through walls, and sneak up on your foes.
Well, I already had that one.
But he's given us hope. Or what passes for it down in Rapture. When a person's got nothing, hope's about the kindest thing you can give her. Or the cruelest.
2, directly above me. So as soon as I move out here, he's gonna see me. Because there he is. Peeping Cloak mod removes Eve cost for invisibility while standing still. Thought I already got that.
Just a man by his name.
Peeping Tom upgraded too. So they're all upgraded to Mark II. Brandon Bigler says, you're playing my favorite game. Well, I'm grateful for that. I hope I do it justice. I'm having a blast, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert at this game.
Not sure which one of these jerks thought it was a good idea in the ring with Ryan.
Oh, I got to open up another one? Right.
Too bad we got lost. Shame to put it out like that twice.
Superior 8 Gaming says, just watched your video on the Soul Survivor being a synth. Amazing video, my man. Thank you. It is just a theory, and I, for one, am not entirely convinced. There are a few things that make a good argument, but I'm more in the camp that those are likely not intentional. Gotta stop talking.
That sounded funny.
What'd you think was gonna happen? You
Got him just as he
Ryan
got
said
me.
the girl's got
Where's it gonna put me?
She's gone for good now.
She knew her ticket to Rapture was a one-way proposition.
You can warn people not to collapse a quantum superposition, but do they ever really listen?
So ends the DeWitt Comstock line.
Don't let your grief overwhelm you, sister.
One could believe a mission is doomed to failure, and wish sincerely that it wasn't. Hopes like quantum superpositions have a tendency to collapse.
Do you know how much trouble you caused me?
What? I'm all the way back here, but that guy wasn't even there.
There's supposed to be a brunette. Anyone seen her? Look around!
The rest of Atlas is...
Louie. Hey, if you don't get down here soon, there's not going to be an ounce of booze or a piece of ass for the taking. Sometimes I think you've taken this whole Robin Hood business a bit too much to heart. Fontaine's got us out there ladling soup for the purpose of building an army, not to share the milk of human kindness. You keep up this kind of behavior, I'm gonna start thinking there's more red in you than Karl Marx. What the hell? Splicers. They're busting in! Horwitz! Tell Fontaine the perimeter's compromised!
They're down for the count.
You're still here, aren't you? Where is she? Lady, you're working my last nerve.
What's going on? Come on out. Stupid jerk. Should have never about goddamn time you showed.
Had any principles, you wouldn't be skulking around.
I never thought anyone would be able to bring all these degenerate splice heads into line. I gotta hand it to Atlas. After Ryan locked us up in this pit, I thought that was it. Just a long final dive into the abyss. But he's given us hope.
Not down here.
Or what passes for it down in Rapture. When a person's got nothing, hope's about the kindest thing you can give her.
Got that plasma
Or the
just in
cruelest.
nick of time.
All right, Ryan, forget it.
Judge a man by his enemies. Ryan doesn't amount to much. Some skirt and a bunch of mental cases.
The guy made a city at the bottom of the ocean, and they thought it was a wise idea crossing it.
Smart enough to know Ryan's smarter than all of us.
The girl, Alice's crew, no witnesses. What else you need to know?
Fontaine
that's
smugglers
so
put
much
up a
better.
good fight at the fisheries. They're
Get
down
out
for
here where I
years.
can see you.
I know you've done it.
Get back here!
Let's just say we're not here to teach them philosophy.
He then says, Zox, that Eve upgrade you got allows you to stay invisible indefinitely without consuming mana as
gone?
long as you hold still.
More power to you,
Thank
sister.
you. It is handy.
Too bad we gotta kill the twist. Shame to put talent like that. I see her.
Hands down for the count. Now you're in the
Should have
suit.
taken Ryan.
Come on, there you are.
You judge a man by his enemies.
I'm invisible!
They thought it was a wise
Come out. Let's get this over with.
Not in the mood for this hide and seek.
Ah!
Fontaine smugglers put up a good fight at the fisheries. I'd expect
Can't keep running forever.
Told Ryan he should have given each of these clowns a book.
Enough. Ain't nobody here.
Okay.
too bad we gotta kill the twist. Shame to put talent like that to waste.
Ryan said the girl's gotta die first. I don't ask questions.
Not sure which one of these jerks thought it was a good plan. Ryan. Guy made a city at the bottom of the ocean, and they thought it was a wise idea to cross it.
Judge a man by his enemies.
The girl, Alice's crew, no witnesses. What else you need to know?
Ryan should.
Get in. This real girl and Alice's crew. Back before happy hour.
Okay.
Guy made a city at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm invisible.
Wise idea crossing it.
He can't see me.
Told Ryan he should have given each of
That's right. Come all the way down. Okay, yeah, keep coming. That's fine. Golly, so many here.
Good fight at the fisheries. I'd expected more from this lot.
I suppose I should use more of my hand cannon ammunition.
Too bad we got her killed at twist. Shame to put talent like that to waste.
Smart enough to know more than all of us.
Just a man
Hey, make it easy. I say that now.
some skirt and a bunch of mental cases.
Crossbow gas ammo. Yes.
I'd expect
That's where I need to go.
Not in prison.
This entire place is gonna respawn anyway, so I might as well just go up.
Get in. Disappear the girl and Atlas's crew. Back before happy.
Elizabeth, you know Atlas is going to...
I know. And I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I sent myself here for a reason. Didn't I?
And who exactly are you speaking to, Miss Comstock? If I were less acquainted with the vicissitudes of genius, I suspect I would question your sanity. I know so little of you, but I imagine the more I learned, the more exceptional I would find you. You know Atlas will betray you.
And what are you? My best friend?
You're one of a kind in this world, or others. And now, your misguided sense of altruism sends you to your doom. It's like watching Isaac Newton die in a house fire in a vain attempt to save his cat.
Compared a little girl to a cat. Andrew Ryan. Oh, finally, autosave. Fontaine's department store number
There,
1.
there. All the load-bearing columns come into this room and they meet there. I just need to place the particle in that junction, activate it, and the whole structure should rise.
Place the quantum particle. Okay.
There's no plan B. Might as well just get it over with.
Well, let me look around a bit, Elizabeth. Maybe there's lore or something interesting. They always want to push me in one direction. Alright. Ooh, we got bombs out there. Look at that. Oh, dear. Well, let's see what happens. Maximilian Cornell says, "Hi, Oxhorn. I've watched you for years, but this is my first time making a stream. What are you smoking?" Today I'm smoking Gurkha Warlords, a Christmas present from my wife. They are very tasty. Okay. Oh.
Here goes nothing. It's working! Atlas, you feel that? You have your prison break. Now bring me the girl.
faith in strange foreign
Just
men.
give me the girl. She means nothing to you.
You've got that right. The girl means nothing. But you, love, you mean the world.
Oh no! Ew. Creepy. Great. Ethan
No
H.
cause for alarm. She's well sedated. So, it's begun.
The Kashmir's all blown to hell. If Ryan didn't know we were back before, I'm sure now he's got the message.
What do you want with this one?
If anybody's got the line on the ace, it's her. Find out what she knows. But no quackery. She's no good to us with a halo and a set of wings.
I get started as soon as the chloroform wears off. Don't see her as too tough a nut.
To crack.
Where's the ace in the hole?
What? What?
Where's the ace in the hole?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, we had a deal.
Where is the ace in the hole?
I told you.
Sodium thiopental. Are you familiar? No. Truth serum. Unpredictable stuff. Too little, nothing.
I have
Too
nothing
much.
to tell
The
you.
subject
I don't
is
even know what an ace in the hole is. Ah!
I am still playing with the dosage.
Okay.
This world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made, and men who make it.
We're all plenty scared about this unfolds, but only a fool counts out the right-thinking folks of General Ryan's rapture. Atlas's thugs have been pushed out of Point Prometheus. They're on the run of Neptune. It's one thing starting war with us. Folks say it's only a matter of time until Atlas's entire mob comes out waving the white flag.
2 weeks.
What?
You've been down 2 weeks, love. Feckin' doctors. Better off hiring 1,000,000 monkeys.
Our deal was to get you out of prison. What, did you expect me to win your war for you too?
I'd tend to your own knitting if I were you. Now, darling, being that you were Su Chong's lab assistant and all, why not tell me where me ace in the hole went to?
I don't know.
As I said, I'm no doctor. But that doesn't mean I don't find the field fascinating. I keep up on all the medical journals and the like.
I hope you have someone to help you with all the big words.
You know what part of the brain free will comes from? Stubbornness? The prefrontal lobe. Now, I think it's fair to say you're a bit of a stubborn one, are you not? A man named Steinman taught me this. He's a bit of a lunatic, but a fine surgeon. He calls this little trick a transorbital lobotomy. Take hold of her, lads.
You're wasting your
Now,
time.
If you won't remain still,
Oh,
I
dear.
can't be held responsible for what comes next. Here we go.
Oh, come on.
You feel that?
No, come on.
I'm
Really?
moving the pick across your eyeball. Oh, still now. And resting it on your skull.
Oh.
There's about a bit over 1/4 of an inch of bone between the pick and your prefrontal lobe.
Oh, great.
And that's where this little fella comes in.
I don't.
It was just a wee tap. But I don't expect it'll take more than a few of those to reach the meat. And then we might find you a bit less the mule. Where's me ace in the hole?
I don't know.
You know what else rests in the lobe? Creativity. Individuality. Personality. In short, what makes you, you. I'm just about through now. Last chance, pet. Where is the ace in the hole?
Or what? What, you'll put a hole in my head and take away my memories? You want to make me forget all this? You want to make me not care anymore? Go ahead. You'll be doing me a favor.
Oh! Bring in the monster! You're a regular hero, ain't you? Can't risk ripping the only part of you that's worth a damn. Well, there's more than one way to fry an egg. Now, little one, are you familiar with the term transorbital lobotomy?
Please let her
It's
go.
a simple matter. All I need to do is insert this pick into your eye.
Please, I don't know
and give it
anything.
a few taps with me hammer.
I don't know anything.
Better to show by example.
Please, please don't. I don't know anything. I don't know. Please.
Stop,
Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's okay.
I can't tell him what I don't know. Where are we?
You saw all the doors. And what's behind all the doors?
The ace in the hole. It's here.
Yes.
But I don't remember this place.
You've never been here.
Then how would
The memories you lost, they weren't just of the past. You saw behind all the doors.
Even the ones into the future.
Whoa.
This is where I'm going.
If you want.
I don't like it here.
It's a bad place.
He's never gonna let me go, is he? Even if I bring him the ace. Then why am I here? How if I was so smart? If I saw so much, why just send myself to the slaughter?
For Sally.
No, one day he will just rip her open and tear out her atom. All of this for nothing. Why did I do it? Why?
You have to decide.
Decide what?
To take a leap of faith. I can't tell you what you were thinking because you don't remember. But you chose to come. There.
Ooh.
In that room.
I don't like what's in that room.
I don't know what to do, Booker. Booker? Booker!
Your imagination.
Please! Please just don't leave me here! Booker!
You killed Booker, all right? But who's that? Oh, it's Sally. Does that mean Sally's dead too?
Suchong's clinic! It's at Suchong's clinic.
That's a bit convenient now. Ryan's got every turret in the place tuned to me and me men's genetic code. We'd be torn to shreds before we got 10 feet.
Move that needle,
That's
please.
right.
Just move the hammer
Which is
thing.
why I'm gonna do it for you.
Get that off of her face.
You okay with that?
Oh,
Get me the ace. I'll wrap the brat in a silk ribbon.
jeez.
Bag her and bring her to my bathysphere.
He's just balancing it on her eyeball.
One of the lads will show you how to get inside. We'll be waiting for you where you come out. Shake a leg now. The Lord hates a laggard.
Wow. Fine then. Find the ace in the hole. What on earth am I even doing? Tony J says, stop hammer time. Yes, yes, yes. We're all so witty in the chat today. If only I had thought of that. Well done. Okay. Oh, don't tell me. Ooh! Lore!
Suchong, what the hell were you thinking? Drinkable plasmids? We're burning through 10 times the amount of atom compared to the injectables. And if you fail to notice, them sea slugs ain't exactly growing on trees. Switch back to the injectables and let the eggheads in marketing worry about selling it to the chumps.
Issue hydraulic fluids/gases within drill cause subject to become unreliable, unstable. Launching option to be removed from drill in future models. J-Man with the tip. Thank you, J-Man. MLP Death Dealer says he really wanted to pick her brains, didn't he, Oxhorn? Oh, yes. Another masterpiece. Oh, dear. He really has an eye for surgery. Oh, we're on a roll. Okay, where am I? Oh, we got a big grill here covered in grease. Let's see. Oh, what was that? Imprinting solution not found in genes. That's Elizabeth's hair sample. No genetic link, no doggone causality. Now, yes, everybody in the chat saying that now she saw his point. Yes, that's great. No, you're all wonderful. Mick Chaster says he just wanted a piece of her mind. Oh, Douglas Delegard says talk about being picky. Okay, kids? What the heck? Tony J says, dear God, what have I started? Okay. What do I do here? Move Big Daddy. Sure, little Elizabeth here is gonna move a Big Daddy. If I can hover over the right spot. Okay, I saw it. Let's hover. I gotta look at him just right.
All right. Let's see here what we could do.
She takes off the helmet to find it's herself.
Scary. Look, it's okay. He can't hurt anyone. Shh. Shh. Can you move?
J-Man says, I'm gonna go help out other streamers now. You bet, J-Man. Thanks so much for stopping by.
I don't know how to help you. I don't. No, he's just hurt. He just needs somebody to figure out how to fix him. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Is there some documentation for him around here or something? Right. Look who I'm asking.
Link says he picks the best topics. Jessica says, guess she can't be nitpicky. Oh, we're just gonna keep going all night. That's the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Scotch and Horrible game puns is what we're doing today. All right, anyway, I got to find some documentation. That's some documentation. Ooh, read notes.
Encoded. Big Daddy will not imprint. If not imprint, what good is he to little sister? She no like him. He no like her. Situation is impasse. Unacceptable.
So we need to find a way to get the little sister to imprint correctly. Ooh. Bad Jojo, bad Juju. To imprint correct. Oh, is that what the Vita chamber is for? Prototype, stage 1. Hey, it's a Vita chamber. Finally. Vita chamber project, Ryan Industries. A combination of plasmids reconstructed within a field of quantum entanglement results in fantastical restoration properties. I have fast-tracked this project for immediate mass production and distribution throughout Rapture. This completes stage 1. Note, all chambers must be turned to Andrew Ryan's specific genetic frequency before proceeding with distribution. Ethan says, Ox, turn the music back on. Oh, that's right. I have been playing without the music to avoid demonetization. Fine. Who needs money anyway? It's the experience that's important. Markern says, I love your videos. I watch them all the time. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Will do. Douglas Delegard says, don't you like punishment? Lol. It's my favorite. And then Josh says, Scotch, smoke rings, and lobotomies may be included. It's like we're playing Old World Blues all over again. Only not. Read note.
If stupid beasts had half brain, they would realize they need little sister to live. Sisters secrete only kind of atom that is genetic match for them. No little sister, no big daddy.
So we have to somehow convince the big daddy of this. He cares for the little sister produces Adam for the big daddy.
Scary. I've got to do something.
Big monster sick. Big monster
It's okay. It's okay, please. I don't know how to help him. He needs Adam. I don't have any of that. I don't know what to do.
Going to die. Not fair. We can help.
Always love games when you're injecting little kids with needles. Gosh. So Elizabeth teaches the big daddies and the little sisters how to function together. Wow, this game is rewriting Bioshock all the way to the very beginning. I love it. Daddy shark, daddy shark. Cognitive conversion. Subject to undergo a series of reconditioning therapies. Visual cortex, prefrontal cortex. Note, all therapies have been outlined in Notebook 22A. Strict guidelines have been provided. Look at this poor child. Oh my gosh. Hey, that's Tenenbaum. Doing the research that she would later regret deeply. Or...
Did you talk to your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushon.
Break her neck for me. What? Break that sweet puppy's neck. No, please. Break that puppy's neck. Would you kindly? No.
Would you kindly?
No. Very good.
Very good. Would you kindly break the puppy's neck? Very good. What the heck? These guys, what were they doing making this game? Oh no, what horrors lie within this letter? Oh.
Suchong, of all the things I know this. It is in your power to be a different man. What can Ryan take from us that we have not already sacrificed at the altar of discovery? They are children, little sisters, and yes, they will forget. But you and I won't. The memories of what we have done fade only with the dimming of all lights. Tenenbaum.
Zachary says demonetized. Oh, so it's okay to burn little girls in ventilation tubes, to perform brain surgery on them, to balance scalpels on their heads. But the moment you snap the neck of a puppy, audibly, wow, then you've just gone too far. Oh, Tenenbaum. She had such faith in mankind. I wonder if Suchong ever responded well to that note. Let's find out. Oh, is that where we go? No.
Protector system, plasmid lot 255. Dr. Suchong, client Ryan Industries. Very frustrating day. I can't seem to get the damn big daddies to imprint on the little brats. The protection bondage is just not forming.
Look at what we got here. We've got a wall on a track.
Get on me. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to... Sure. Sequence to allow for... Get away, you filthy little shit! What are you doing? Get back! Get it back!
Doctor
There's the ace. This is the ace in the hole.
This.
All the pain and all of the death for this.
And it is... What exactly? Okay. Well, goodbye, Dr. Suchong. We barely knew you. Enter wall. Okay, in a minute. Let me explore. I can enter wall, but I can't push curtain. Okay. Oh, what are these? Oh, gatherers' gardens. Right. And here they wait. So. No Name says Big Daddies take drilling someone to a new level.
Hey, sister. Over here. Do you have it?
I have it.
Give it over then. I'm keen to get this brat off me hands.
Oh, hey guys, where'd you come from?
You know what? Andrew Ryan said I was a rube. But he was wrong. I'm not the rube, Atlas. You are.
You rube.
We both know what happens next. Just get it over with.
Well, love, if you insist.
What? No.
What is this? It's just a bunch of gibberish.
No.
What does this say, you little whore? Hey! What does this say?
It says, would you kindly?
We've got the activation phrase. Now all we've got to do is get that genetic freak of nature on an airplane and Rapture's ours.
Wow.
I chose Rapture.
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
To save one life is to save the world entire. It is you who are the savior.
I can see all the doors. And what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, incredibly, I see him.
On ses bras, elle me vole tout bas. Je vois la vie en rosa. Il m'a dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose.
Forgiveness. miracle. Yeah. It does. Like, it all comes together. And it feels like it was planned to.
You ready?
From the very beginning. All right, here we go. Behind the scenes.
See the pyramids along
it has to be a song.
the Nile.
Oh, I don't want to hear a song.
Watch the sunrise from a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me.
Josh says, Ox, watch to the end of the credits. Okay, we'll do.
See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when a dream appears, you belong.
The White Wolf says Elizabeth saw the future and sees in the end it will all be okay for Sally. So she willingly died to set events in motion. That's what she saw through the tear to the future.
And blue.
Does she have to die? I mean, she did die. She was standing over her corpse at the beginning of the DLC. So I suppose she knew it had to happen that way.
See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, till you're home again, you belong.
Gabriel says she gave up the code, and then Bioshock 1 shows the girls being saved. So she was activated by the code and broke free, defeating the big bad.
Maybe you'll be lonesome.
Sebi says it was said in Bioshock 1 Ox, you got a flashback image with Jack finding a gun in his box on the plane. Was that part of Bioshock 1?
In a silver plane.
I don't remember the box in Bioshock 1.
See the jungle when it's wet with rain.
David says that is a terrible hamster wheel. You're telling me, man.
To your home
if time really is cyclical.
You belong to me.
Line cliche says, Oxhorn, does that mean determinism is true? I mean, according to the lore of Bioshock, I suppose so. Gabriel Hostler says she probably didn't have to die. Let's be real here. Master Chief saved the whole universe and is still kicking. Well, I think the creators of this game had a darker view of humanity and the future than I believe Bungie did. Warrior says, I've never seen anything Bioshock and I'm very confused. I don't blame you one bit. It's it's all coming together now, but it's taken 3 different games, a number of DLCs to piece everything together, and a slew of different characters too. And now everyone's asking what game is next. Boy, I tell ya, I really don't know. I couldn't get Far Cry 5 to work for reasons I explained earlier in this broadcast. I've got Red Dead Redemption 2 on Fridays. I've still got Control on Mondays. I think I'm getting to the end of Control, though, so I'm not sure how much longer I'll be doing that. Wastelanders is coming out soon. I do want to stream Wastelanders. And then, of course, Cyberpunk 2077 later this year, which I'm really looking forward to, though I might have to stream that on Twitch, depending on the kind of content in Cyberpunk 2077. Shannon Bodine with a tip says, do you like your Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pro? Yeah, I mean, I just got it today. These are my new headphones replacing my other ones, which were falling apart. One of the reasons I got these was because each piece...
like a rat in a race, like a drive-by, such a frantic pace.
Oh,
Need to freeze the moment, put your worries on ice.
Each piece is replaceable. How am I going to talk over this now?
Chill out.
I got the 250 ohm version, and I think it's going to be working out just fine for me so far. I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I like it. Caden Goy with a tip. Thank you very much.
Winter, you can keep your cool.
Feeling hot under the collar? Stay frosty with the plasmid that lets you enjoy life at a cool pace. Turn down the heat. And
MacWest
turn
says
up
Stanley
the ease
Parable
of
would be fun for
relaxation
one stream.
with Old Man Winter from
Is it
Ryan
short?
Industries.
Josh says, what about Rage 2's other DLC? Is there another DLC that's out? Oh, the worm one? Something about worms? Maybe. I don't know. I've tapped pretty much everything within Rage 2. I enjoyed it. It was a fun game. I wouldn't really call the lore of the game that scintillating, but the gameplay itself was really fun for Rage 2. So I suppose I could tackle DLCs that I haven't done yet. Did you check out Sherlock Holmes? Asks Douglas Delegard. By Frogwares, yeah. It looks interesting. I don't know if it's going to be Scotch and Smoke Rings material. I should probably buy the game and try it. Cater and Goy with another tip. Thank you very much. It is short, says MacWest. All right, what about Mass Effect, says Shard? I don't know. I mean, I've been spoiled on Mass Effect due to Andromeda. I played Andromeda for several hours and I didn't like it. That said, I know I shouldn't judge the entire series based on Andromeda. I realize that Andromeda is a low point for the entire Mass Effect series. Maybe I should try and tackle it. I don't know. It just, for some reason, it hasn't been that interesting to me. I don't know. Josh Bunton says Terromania is an alternate world DLC like Undead Nightmare in Red Dead Redemption 1. Well, before I do any DLCs for Red Dead Redemption 2, I want to finish the entire game. Pathologic 2 says Little Lady. I actually bought Pathologic 2, tried playing it. No, that game is not for me. It was frustrating. The survival mechanics in Pathologic 2 were just infuriating, in my opinion. I'm not keen on games with really stringent survival mechanics like that. I know you can turn them off, but the story itself also just I don't know, wasn't my cup of tea. Well, there you go. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We've completely finished the entire Bioshock saga as it exists today. It's good to learn that there are other Bioshock games in the works. We'll probably have to wait several years, I'm guessing, before we see anything available to play. But it is good that the story will continue. I'm a little apprehensive because I want it to be really good like these 3 games were. People said when I was playing Bioshock 1 that Bioshock 2 didn't hold up. But man, I had a lot of fun with Bioshock 2. And in fact, I think I had more fun with Bioshock 2 than I did with Bioshock 1. I think the story in Bioshock 1 was much more compelling. But the gameplay aspects of Bioshock 2 and then Minerva's Den were great. A great improvement compared to Bioshock 1. So I really enjoyed all 3 games in the trilogy. Would you try a horror like Layers of Fear, says Jay McCabe? I would consider a horror game. I haven't tried Layers of Fear. Let me make a note on that. Layers. If I did a horror game, I would want it to be... The problem with horror games that I've experienced is that they go out of their way to just make the plot as inaccessible as possible. Even, later in the game, you're still piecing things together. With horror games, like I played, what's it called? Evil Within, I think is what it was. I purchased Evil Within. I wanted to start with the first one. I started going through it. They just zap your character to different points in the story's timeline, and you're walking blind without knowing what's going on. And I dislike that kind of gameplay. And I find that that's often the case with horror games. Outlast was different. I enjoyed Outlast. I didn't get into Outlast 2 because it was just too brutal. It was way too much. Outlast 1 was bad enough, but Outlast 2 was just way too much. So I would consider a horror game if the story was really compelling. I haven't really found anything that I'm too keen on just yet. Well, anyway, there are a number of great games out there that I could consider playing for Scotch and Smoke Rings, but I got a week to think about it, and I think I am going to hit the sack. I've been working hard on my next Far Harbor lore video all day, and I got it done. I got the video done, the audio completely done, and I finished the thumbnail, so that video is ready to go. I need to work tomorrow and Saturday on my next Fallout 2 video. It's my last Fallout 2 video. I've got a rather ambitious Fallout 2 video that I'm trying to put together. It ties some things in with Fallout New Vegas, and I really, I'm looking forward to getting it done, but it's a complicated video. So I don't know if I'm going to get it done in time for Sunday, but I'm going to try. You'll at least get one lore video this week. It will be on Far Harbor. Hopefully another one about Fallout 2 on Sunday. And then I'll figure out my Thursday stream game, probably Thursday morning, as the way things tend to go in my life. Play Soma. I do get Soma recommended a lot. Says Mr. Kill 3000. Probably every stream, I'll have somebody recommend Soma. 10/10 on Steam. Wow. That's a good review. Maybe. I'll have to take a look at it. Anyway, I got to go. Thank you all for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings and the end of Bioshock on the channel for the foreseeable future until they release a new Bioshock game. Lots of lore videos for the weekend and more live streaming games to come. We'll be tackling Cyberpunk 2077, Wastelanders for Fallout 76 when it comes out, and whatever wonderful bounties that 2020 has in store for us. Gabriel says Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea DLC, which is what we just completed. Parts 1 and Part 2. So thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Remember, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, Red Dead Redemption 2. I believe I've knocked all of the gremlins out of my machine and my game install, so we're going to have a nice buttery smooth gameplay right from the beginning of the stream tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all here tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time for Red Dead Redemption 2. But until then, have a wonderful evening. Be kind to absolutely everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with a brand new live stream of Red Dead Redemption 2. Have a good night. Bye-bye.